Yeah, and it was not like it is today. There were not like ways, so we had to go on MapQuest, and it was a pain in the butt to find your way. So I'm driving. I got a shitty Ford Tempo with a hole in I remember where I used to put the brake pedal, so people used to make fun of me. It was like the Flintstone, you know. I could, yeah, I could almost put my foot on the floor, you know. So the plan was to go in New York to. To go there, and we share the hotel together. So we save money, and we share with the gas and everything. But the day before the trip, one of them called me, and it's the one that speak English. He's like, "Hey George, I cannot make it." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" And I'm talking to the other one who's supposed to come with me. He's like, "Oh, if he's not going, I'm not going either." I'm like, "Man," but you know what? I said to myself, I said, "F it, I'm going by myself, and that's it." So I went there. And I remember, man, I got my ass whooped by a guy who weighs maybe 30 pounds lighter than me.
Wow.
I got tapped out, like in jiu-jitsu when you're stuck in an armbar or a choke, you have to tap.
Yeah.
Otherwise your arm break or you get choked out. So, and I remember at the time I was like, man, I was getting mauled. I was a black belt in karate. I was a good striker, but in grappling, I didn't have a lot of knowledge, and I knew I needed to learn it in order to become a mixed martial art fighter. But man, I got beat up so bad, and I remember driving back. I was that close to give up, and I told myself, say, you know what, I need to go back out there and learn. And every time I was going back there, it was tough for me because guys, a lot of them were trying to bully me. A few of them were very nice to me. But it was a constant grind. And I remember the two guys that were supposed to come with me, they asked me, "Hey, how was it?" I'm like, "Man, I got my ass kicked so bad." Man, they never came back with me. They were like, they wanted to stay in their comfort zone. So that's the difference. You know, if you want to succeed, sometimes it's a necessary evil. You're going to go through pain. Might be humiliated. You're going to fail, but then you have to go through that, man, in order to improve, you know, and that's what I was ready to do, which is probably the case of other guys. So that, the reason why I was successful is not because I think I was more gifted or, you know, I work harder. It's just because I was ready to do that sacrifice, you know?
Yeah. What do you think kind of made you in that space to take that sacrifice? Because I guess it's like, yeah, I mean, giving up is easy.
Yeah.
It's, you know, I think saying something is better, saying something's too hard, it's kind of easy. You know, I think unless you're different, I think some people look at that as a challenge and some people look at it as just a reality.
Yeah, I think if you want to be the best at something, I'm not talking being good. I'm talking about you want to be the best at something, and in every field, I think you need to be a little bit obsessed. I was never diagnosed. I never saw a psychologist for it, but I think I'm obsessive-compulsive. And I think...
Did you notice it when you were young? Like, what kind of things did you see like you would do?
Well, one thing I would do that is completely crazy. It's very stupid, but I used to do, like, when I walk on the sidewalk. Mm-hmm. For example, I remember in New York going to train, I walk on the sidewalk, and there is a line on the sidewalk, and I noticed that I step over one line with my right foot, but I have to step over with the left to make an equal number. And sometimes these things are so stupid, but it drives you nuts. When I drill techniques in jiu-jitsu, I have to do this or wrestling or any combat sport, I have to do the same amount on each side. Even though in a fight, I will most likely do one side, my best side, but I have to do the other side. And I think these things, as crazy as it sounds, are probably some of the things that made me perform well, you know?
Right, because you need things to be even. You need things to be calculated, maybe. Or even the fact that you're even calculating things is kind of, it sounds crazy. Yeah. It sounds obsessive, but it also is kind of magnificent in a way, because to be great at something, you're going to have to be someone who's calculating things, even when you're not, even in your subconscious.
Also, I think it's good for an athlete, for performance, but you need to learn how to let go.
Yeah.
You need to learn to punch in and punch out. And sometimes it's hard. I see in the news sometimes some fighters they can't do it. You know, they go crazy.
They keep going.
Yeah.
Like Tony Ferguson, he keeps going. Do you think it's a tough space that he's in? Like, because it's weird. People love watching him fight, right? And it feels like he loves like giving himself to the people. He like, it almost like he shows up just because he knows we're going to love him so much.
Yeah.
But you start to think that it's painful for him. I mean, he's had a tough run recently.
Yeah, I love to see him fight. It's just unfortunate because the Tony Ferguson that you see nowadays it's not the Tony Ferguson that he was when he was in his prime, and it depends what he's trying to accomplish.
Right.
You know, I prioritize my health, you know, first, and that's my priority. But some guys they have a kick of it. They don't care. They prioritize having, I don't know, some of them they love to fight, you know. For them it's an adrenaline. They love it. I never liked it. I mean, I did it because I wanted to have the freedom, you know, the life that I have. So I used that to propel myself where I wanted to be in life. But some guys they just love to fight. And and it's funny because when I was young, I was looking around and I never felt I was at the right place. I remember I seek the help of sport psychologists, and a lot of them, they told me, you know, like they were trying to brainwash me. They were like, "Oh, George, stop saying you're afraid. You're not afraid. You're excited." I'm like, bro, I'm excited if I don't know, if I see a beautiful woman or, you know, or if, you know what I mean? I'm not excited to go fight in a cage. You know what I mean? So I'm afraid. Then I realized that you should not be afraid. I should not be afraid to admit that I'm afraid. You know, there's no courage without fear. And when I made peace with it, I knew it was a normal thing, and I learned how to control it. But it's that's why there's some guys, I think they fake it so hard